pleasure to welcome another longtime champion of this project, Mary Ashley, the co-chair of the Island Corridor Foundation. Mary.
Thank you very much, Ron. And may I say I'm overwhelmed by the kind of support we've received. I'm overwhelmed by the attendance here today of people who have supported the rail, and I've spoken to many of you. The community support we've received from people on Vancouver Island, even from places where I come from, like Campbell River or Sunshine Coast, through the Association of Vancouver Island Municipalities and Coastal Communities, has been the impetus that has driven us for about the last 10 years. We have people that are way too numerous to mention that have supported this, have helped it grow, have helped us acquire this from CPR, and it took 2 or 3 years of negotiations to actually acquire this land on behalf of the people of Vancouver Island. But we knew that we had a dream, and it wasn't a dream or a vision based on nothing. It was based on some very hard, solid, good information, which will lead for both our non-Native communities and our First Nations, I think, to greater things in future, and it will continue to work to connect the communities of Vancouver Island. Of course, Port Hardy would like to be here as part of the railway, and I've told them, you know, give us 40 or 50 years, and maybe we can do that. But I also want to acknowledge the leaders of our communities who are so important, and so many of whom are here today, from our regional boards and our cities and our First Nations, because that leadership has really driven it as well. Everybody has listened and everybody has responded. And this is the icing on the cake today, because the province has heard us as well. And they know how long we've worked. Ida was there for us at the beginning too, and Ron and so many people. It's just, it's the most important moment in the history of this railway in the last 125 years, and that's a long time. So, needless to say, we're delighted. There's one other group that I need to talk about. The Premier talked about ridership, increasing ridership on the railway. Once we restore the passenger service and have it running the right way, we can increase the ridership. When you look at the number of people that travel the train already that I've talked to, ridership increased from the time we first took it over. And I think once it's back on track, you'll find that it will double and triple and quadruple, and we'll have better service, we'll have better trains, because for those of us who like to ride bikes, there'll be bike racks on the trains, which is something's been asked for ages. There'll be a snack bar on the trains, and I promise you that if nobody else is available to serve snacks, I'll be there. I make good coffee. And also, probably one of the most important parts of it, we were very fortunate to acquire a partnership in our operator. Southern Vancouver Island Rail has hung in there with us, has already been working to increase freight service, which is the gravy. Passenger service may be the bread and butter, but we're going to be looking at freight services as well. The company has already invested in a new barge facility at Annacis Island to make this island and its products accessible to all of North America. And that's a very large vision that we have, and we share that with our operator. I would just like to ask all of those who work for Southern Rail, who have hung in with us without knowing if they were ever going to have a permanent job, to hold up their hands. A lot of them are here today. Where are you guys? You are the heroes, because I traveled the train many times with you, and you must love your job a lot to hang in there with us, so this is good. Could I ask the rest of our board members just to come forward for a minute so that you can see all of the people who sit on the Island Corridor Foundation Board that are here today. You'll see some extremely dynamic people from, I come from Campbell River, but from Courtenay to Victoria and everywhere in between. And it's important that we are here today to say thank you to all of you. And also, we can't say thank you without saying a very special thank you to Graham Bruce, who is our Executive Director. Graham and Annika, you're amazing. So I could keep on thanking people forever, but I know that you want me to stop, and I'm going to stop, except to say, Dr. Lenny, I really look forward to being able to thank you. And I thank you already for everything you've done, and the same with Minister Duncan. We wouldn't have be here without you as well. Thank you all for coming. This is a very, very happy day for us.
Well, thank you, Mary. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Judith. It truly is a great partnership between First Nations and all the communities up and down the island. And it's going to be for great economic benefit for everybody. And Premier Clark, a special thanks for you for putting the ENN back on track. Thank you all for coming. Enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you very, very much.
I know. Saving it for the end. I know. Oh, there's our yes guy.